discussion is about Torah Shabbat Peh when Moshiach comes. What's going to happen? So the din is that we're not supposed Torah Shabbat is supposed to stay B'chsav written down. So you're not supposed to learn it by heart or teach it by heart. Torah Shabbat Peh is supposed to stay Bal Peh. You're not supposed to write it down. For certain reasons that change, and we write down Torah Shabbat Peh. So the question is, when Moshiach comes, is that going to change? What's going to happen with all our Sfarim? We're buying more and more Sfarim. The Moshiach comes, what's going to happen? Are we going to have to get rid of them? Are we going to be able to use them? Are we going to have to put them in Shemus? What's going to happen? Why is it okay to write down Torah Shabbat Peh nowadays? The oral law. Why is it okay to write it down? So there's a Gemara in Tmura, the first Maramakim. First, the Gemara says, why? What's the problem? The Gemara says, Darash Rabbi Yehuda bar Nachmani, Miturgamane Darish Lakish. He was the one who would translate for Rish Lakish when you give a drasha. Kasav Echad Eimer. One pasuk says, Kasav L'cha Esad Dvarim Eila. You should write these things. The words Eivish is telling you. So if Eivish is telling you, you should write the Torah. The Kasav Echad Eimer Ki Alpi Hadvarim Ha'eila. Alpi, meaning that it's not written. It's what's being told over to you. And so what's going on? So the Gemara says, things which are al peh, you can't write it down. Things which are written down, you're not able to say it over by heart. Right, so the Gemara says these two psukim are teaching us there's two different parts of the Torah. There's Torah Shabbat, Torah Shabbat Peh, and they have to remain the way they're supposed to be. So, but then the Gemara brings it down. Why did things change? Why are we reading the Gemara, right? Or the Gemara is written down. What happened? So the Gemara says, a few lines later, the Gemara says, "V'darshi." We learn now. There's a drasha. Hachi. Eis Hashem etiru teirasechel. When you need to, there's a great time of need. You need to do something for the sake of the Eibishter, and therefore we went against the Torah in order to do something for the Eibishter. Amri, and therefore they said, based on this, they said, mutav ti'aker Torah, better that you should be ma'aker iser from the Torah, writing down the Torah, va'atishtachach Torah Yisrael, and then the Torah will not be forgotten. That's the heter for writing down Torah Shabbat Peh. Saying if you try to keep the Torah till the T and not write it down, you'll end up being mevatel the whole Torah because no one's going to remember it. So this is the heter for the reason why we're able to write down Torah. So now l'asulavi, when Moshiach comes, so right, the Rambam says that we're not going to be worried about daigas, parnasa, about all these things. We're going to be sitting and learning Torah all day, and more than that the ruach hatuma is going to avim in aretz, which that causes us to be forgetful. So we're not going to be forgetting Torah. So it's not going to be so hard to remember. We're going to be able to memorize the whole Torah Shabbat. So what's going to be with all the svarim? So some poskim, when they were printing their svarim in their hakdama, so they brought this up. They're middle printing their sefer. I guess maybe they were worried what's going to happen when Moshiach comes. Are they have to get rid of it? So they bring up a discussion. So the sefer Maidim is manim in the ha'ara in the hakdama. He brings up a shayla. The second Maramakim, he says, what's going to be the din when we are zeiche for Mashiach to come? Well, if things go back to the way it was in the good old days, you're not allowed to learn it from the writing. And you can only learn it by heart. Which we have now. We're going to have to put them in shemus. We're not going to be able to use them. The reason why we're able to learn Torah Bal Peh from paper, from books, is because and they were master to learn from the writing. We're going to find to learn. So maybe the Isser is going to be Chayzer V'nir. It's going to go back to the way it used to be. So, right. So do we say that it's going to come back, or do we say once it was mutter, once we got a heter that you could learn that you're allowed to write things down, the Isser is gone, and you're going to be able to keep writing down or learning from Sfarim L'Asilav when Moshiach comes. So
I'm not talking about writing more stuff.
I was about to say, so there are really three parts to the question over here. First of all, are you allowed to write new, when Moshiach comes, are you going to write down new chidushim and more divrei Torah from El Moshiach, everything we're going to be learning then? Are we going to be able to write it down then? That's the first part of the question. Second part is, what about?
Torah Chadash, is it going to be Ksava or Valpeh?
Yeah, so it's definitely going to be Valpeh. Are we going to be able to write it down also? Yeah. So are we going to be able to write things down in the future? And second of all, what about the past svarim that we have? Are we going to be able to use them? Do we have to get rid of them? And also, and even if we could use things that are already there, could we reprint them? Yeah. And so first we'll get into the question of, are we going to be able to write it down? Yeah. Are we going to be able to write it? Are we going to be able to write down Torah Shabbal Peh when Mashiach comes? Is the Isser completely gone or not? So the discussion, so one of the questions you have to address first is the Isser that you're not allowed to write down Torah Shabbal Peh. Is that an Isser Deraisa or only Isser Derabanan? Because if it's Isser Deraisa, so even though now we say Islas is Hashem Feiru Torah Secha, but can't be Mevatel Isser Minatera. So even though Mashiach comes, it makes sense that the Isser should still be there. But if it's only Isser Derabanan, so maybe Heimamru, Chachamim said that you shouldn't write down Torah Shabbal Peh, for whichever reasons we'll see later. And they decided to take away the Gzeir because they saw Hashem, so maybe they were completely Mevatel it.
You're not writing it, it's already written. If the issue is to write it, you're not allowed to write it down. We're not writing it down. We have it.
But are you allowed to keep? Are you allowed to keep writing it down?
Are you allowed to read it?
Are you allowed to? Are you allowed to keep writing it down? Right now, right now we're going to talk about if you're going to
reading old books. Reading old books.
Okay, after. First we're going to address, could you write down, you're saying, right, you're addressing, let's say the Isser is still there, but could you keep the old ones? But we want to first address, is the Isser B'chal going to be there? So so the question comes up, so you have to address, is the Isser D'Oraisa or Isser D'Rabbanan? Isser D'Rabbanan is a lot easier to say it's not going to be there anymore. So there's a tshuva from the Chasam Sefer, which in the middle of which you see he holds that writing down Torah Shabbal Peh is Isser Minatay, is Isser D'Oraisa. And it's a famous tshuva. In the tshuva, he's writing very sharply. He's writing against people who print svarim, not l'shem shamayim, just because they want to get famous. They want everyone to know about them. They want to become a famous person. So he says that people who do such a thing, they're over on the Isser Deraisa of Dvarim Shabbal Peh, Yatarashel Imam Bichsav. Because what's the whole heter? Because Eisas is Hashem. So he says, if your kavana is L'Hashem, L'Shem Shamayim, when you're printing the Svarim, then you're allowed to print Svarim. But if your kavana is not L'Shem Shamayim, it's for yourself, so then you're being over on Isser Deraisa. So it's in the third Maramakim, he writes, Umasha Kasav Shal Mi Machabri Svarim Chadashim. In the Basom was sent him a sefer. He says this that he wrote over there that people who print new svarim. In Omer he says that Kol HaMchaber Sefer Umisarav B'Machshavtei Legadol Shmoy, and he's doing it for his own intentions. Rav Sabai Ha'Allah Hamura B'Mili D'Avis. So on him is going to be placed the curse which is said in Sechtes Avis Perek Aleph Mishnah Gimel, that Nagid Shema Avad Shema, someone who runs after fame to get a good name, he's going to lose it. And the work of his hands is going to succeed to bring his thoughts to actuality. Because people who look for people's shortcomings, they're going to find him, and it's going to be in his gala that he was really doing for his own covenant. And here's the main part. He says, Melvad, besides for this, Dvarim Shabbal Peh, Dvarim Shabbal Peh, you're not allowed to write down. Like it says in Gittin, of Samach Ben Aleph, if your kavan is not Hashem Shemayim, so the Isra is still there, you can't print this one.
Somebody prints a book on Mashiach comes, he did Hashem Shemayim.
Oh, but but you see, he holds over here. So it's a deraisa of deraisa. So a lot of poskim they question this, that even if you want to say that they question this being Avron is deraisa, because what happened to Mitei Shalei Lishma Ba Lishma? So maybe you're printing the Sefer, you're printing Chedush Torah, not Lishma, but Shalei Lishma, Bal Lishma. So some people question this, but you see that it's Issa Deraisa, according to the Chasam Sefer. And the Birchei Yosef actually brings down the Machlekes. He brings down from some Rishonim that we see different days whether it's the Issa Derabanan. In the fourth Maramakin, Birchei Yosef says, "Ve'echazeh onechi b'chad min ashad Rosh Tevis kamiya." Rabbeinu Eliezer Mitz, one of the Rishonim, he wrote in the Sefer Yereim, Mitzvah Kuf Chav Ches, Shekasa bepshitos tahavi midrabanan. He writes with a simplicity that it's Issa Derabanan, that it's Issa Derabanan. Ukroi aylacheru yivop sukim, right? Kasav lacha, and we say in Ki'api Advar Meila. So say it's asmachta, v'kroi asmachta ba'alma. The psukim are only a asmachta. It's not a real. Really, it's only midrabanan. So that's the shitta of the Yereim. U'mediber harav hachasid Askari in the Sefer Charidim. So Muchach the Savar Harav Zal, you can see that he holds the Havim Midraisa. Sefer Chasidim holds that. Sefer Charidim holds that. That is Deraisa. So that's another shitta. But Teisus Yishanim, the Teisus Yishanim in Yumo, Daf Ayin Kasu the Havim Mitzvah Min HaMuvchar. He says it's Mitzvah Min HaMuvchar not to write it down or to say it by heart. So it's not really Mitzvah Min HaMuvchar. It doesn't sound like it's Issa Deraisa. It doesn't even sound like it's Issa Gomer. So according, and then in some places you can also want to be medai from the Rambam. The Rambam in the whole Sefer Yad, he doesn't mention the Isser of writing down Teir Shabbal Peh. I'm saying in the whole Sefer Yad, all the halachas, he doesn't tell you. So if it's something which is Negea L'Maisa, and the front, if it's going to be Negea L'Asad Lavi, and even now, according to the Chasam Sefer's Negea, he should have said something. So some places, some first Shamim think that the Rambam holds that the whole Gzeira is in Spatel. It's only Gzeira Midrabanan. And the Mela, once they were Mevatel, and they said Eis Vasis Hashem Etiru Teisechal, they were Mevatel the whole Isser Derabanan. Mela, according to this also Lavi, there wouldn't be any issue with printing, with writing down Chiddushei Torah. So let's say possibly. But let's say even if it's Isser Derabanan, what's the reason to say that it should change also Lavi? Maybe we have to understand what's the reason for the Isser of not writing down Teir Shabbal Peh, and then we have to see if this Isser applies the reason for this Isser applies when Moshiach comes. So there's over here is 4 reasons which are mentioned for it. So we'll go through them and we'll see how they fit. In the 6th Maramakim, there's a Medrash Rabbah. In Perek Mem Zayin Aleph says that says when the Eibusher told over the Torah to Moshe Rabbeinu, the Eibusher told Moshe Rabbeinu to tell to the Yidden. So it says Amar Lafanav Yasei Rebbeinu Shaleilon Echtei Beisim Lahem. Should I write it to them the Teir Shabbal Peh? So Amar Loi, the Eibusher told Moshe Rabbeinu Eini Mivakesh Litan Lahem B'Chsav. I don't want it to give them the Teir Shabbal Peh in writing. Why? B'Pnei Shegolei Lafanai. It's known before to me. That the goyim are going to get their hands on the Torah. They're going to take it to view bezuyim ba'ivdei kechavim, and they're going to not treat it respectfully. Therefore, Ella, what should I do? Hamikra ani neisen lahem b'michtav. The mikra, the chumash, I'm going to give the Tanakh, I'm going to give them written. V'hamishna v'hatalmud v'hagada ani neisen lahem al peh. The Teir Shabbal Peh, the Eibusher didn't want that. The Goyim should get a hold of it. She'im yavoyu evdei kechavim v'shtabdu behem yu muvdoli mehem. Will be removed from them because they won't. Yeah, Moshe Rabbeinu is talking to the Eibusher.
Anyway, that's why they burned the Shas.
They didn't like it. So this is the reason the Eibusher said he shouldn't write it down because he didn't want the Goyim to get a hold of it. So this reason, where it's going to be, where Malchei is going to be a Melech Yisrael, where the Yidden is going to be Shalom. It's not going to be Mechomes, and the Yidden it's going to be Yad Yisrael Aval Yeno. So there shouldn't be. It could be that there won't be any issue. It could be that we would be able to write down Chiddushei Torah of Teir Shabbal Peh. Another reason is brought down from the Maharsha. the Maharsha says the reason the reason Abisha didn't want us to write it down, Teresh Balpeh, is because then people wouldn't bother learning. This Balpeh, if you don't learn it, you're not going to know it. You're going to forget it. You have to hurry. You have to keep doing Chazara. If you know everything's on paper, it's on the shelf. Well, one day when I'm interested, I could go take it off the shelf. So he says, Nira Bezeh, the lay nitan lichtev, it wasn't given to written, mishum the lay yismecha adam ala ksiva, because in order that people shouldn't rely on the fact that it's written, the lay yilmeid yiser, without the esher lichtev kol hadvarim shapeh yuchel adaber b'divrei Torah. And obviously it's ain't safe. There's plenty of Torah shapeh doesn't end. The Eibusher wants that we should keep learning. And afal pi, even though shal yedei even through this, and still the chachamim were matir to write it down, even though it's hefedo Torah sechal, which turns out that the Yidden were made for the Torah. How so? Even though they knew that through allowing us to write it down, we're going to be made for the Torah to a degree, because people aren't going to bother learning because it's all in the books. Still, that was the only way that it was going to last. So so you think that this issue, we're not going to have when Moshiach comes. So they say if this is so, according to this reason, maybe there shouldn't be an issue. And a third reason, which is the Ran says the reason why you can't tell Torah Shabbal Peh is because it's not, because if it's written down, if you read from paper, a lot of times it's not so clear what the person's intention was. If you're learning directly from a teacher, if you don't understand something, he'll explain it to you, he'll make it clear. So he writes, the time of the milsa, the dvarim shebechsav ika mili tuva the midrashi. Says first of all, why can't you say it by heart? Because there's a lot of things, the midrashi mitech haksav, there's a lot of drashis that you only pick up on if you have the actual ksav. Kagayin chasedis v'yasedis. Some words are with the yod, with the vav, without the vav, and we learn a lot of things from that. The kriv, like siv, sometimes not written or read the way it's. Something's not written the way it's not read the way it's written. It's kavasayu and similar things. If you're going to tell it over by heart, they're going to miss out on all these things. And then he goes, and also about peh. Why can't he write it down? It's a pirush on the Torah shebechsav. If you're going to give it over if you're not going to give it over verbally, people won't figure it out. You're only going to figure it out clearly if it's from a Malamed who will explain it well to you. Could be he won't understand exactly the way it was written down, and he won't understand the true intent. So according to this, the Ran says, what's the reason why Torah Shabbal Peh is supposed to be about Peh not written down? Because you might not understand it you might not understand it well if you understand it better if it's given over by a teacher. So on one hand, you could argue that everyone's going to be lucky in the Torah. There's not going to be shikha. We're going to be clear. We're going to remember everything. So we're not going to have this issue of writing things down that you're not going to understand it well. But on the other hand, you could argue, what about kids that are going to be born then when Moshiach comes? Kids who are going to be born, they're going to grow up. Where are they going to be learning from? Okay, right? You don't want them to learn from Sfarim because then they might misunderstand it. You want them to learn from teachers. So according to this reason, so maybe there will be an issue. Maybe there won't be an issue of writing down Chedush Torah Lost Loving. And a fourth reason, the Maral, the Gur Arya writes that because Torah Shabbal Peh ain't safe. The Eibusher only told you to write down things that could be written down. Torah Shabbal Peh never ends. Therefore, the Eibusher didn't want you to write it down. You shouldn't think that this is it. You have the Mishnah and the Gemara and it ends here. It never ends. So in the ninth Maramakin, Kvar Nosnu Tam Beperek Sheni De Iruvin, Lama Loi Hutar Lichtay Torah Shabbal Peh. The reason is already given. Mipnei She'ein Kates V'Seifel Torah Shabbal Peh. Torah Shabbal Peh never ends. K'dichsiv Asei Svarim Harbe in Kates. They mean many Svarim without end. V'loi Kasva Torah Ela Davar Shashayich Elav Ksiva. The Torah only lets you write down things which is shaykh to be written down. To call davar shenichtav hu mashur and mugbal. Anything which is going to be written down needs to be something which is measured and limited, like Torah Shebechsav. But Torah Shabbal Peh, no. So going with this reason, so maybe Taka also be Moshiach. Maybe Taka will be a Isser of writing down Chiddushei Torah then, because it's something which is, but it's endless, and therefore you shouldn't put a gvul on something which is endless. Right? Again, this is all going with hanacha that the Isser of writing it down is midrabanan. If it's midrabanan, then they can have a discussion. If it's deraisa, so then we're not in darshin in time of the kral. Saying we give reasons, you give hezbaris, but you can't paskin. So that's the place can discuss it. It's not so clear. There's a sicha where the Rebbe Taka says that it's going to be that loss of is going to be yasmin. By the Tafshin Lamin in Yud Shvat, the Rebbe after by the Siyam Sefer after the Siyam Sefer Torah of Moshiach Sefer Torah was then. So the Rebbe was talking about the mile of a Sefer of Torah Shabbachsav over Torah Shabbat Peh. That loss of Lavi, when Moshiach comes, we're not going to be able to write down Chidushei Torah. It's going to Torah Shabbat Peh, but Torah Shabbachsav we're still going to have. So that's in go to 11th Mara Malkim. Rebbe says, "Aval kishiyav Moshiach tzidkenu ba'oz yispatel gam inin hashitcha ba'ilon, oz yilayiyat tzorich v'inin mechsivas Torah Shabbat Peh." There won't be any Indian to write down Torah Shabbat Peh. The Yisera mizu yaser lichta ivinyani Torah Shabbat Peh. It will become aser. Shetzrichim hishar dafke b'limud Shabbat Peh l'leik siva. Needs to be dafke stay in a way of limud and not writing. And there it says gam li ba'ifin shal megillah stadim. Even Megillah Starim, which back in the Gemara, even before Eis Hasis Lashem, so it was a lot of Danoim and Tanoim. They would write down just for themselves. They were worried they would forget it, so they would write down for themselves on their notes. They wouldn't publish, so they wouldn't do it publicly. So that was okay. That was back then. But the Rebbe says even that we're not going to be asked to do because it's not going to be necessary. And so the question is, what about So the Rebbe is going with the opinion that loss of the. So the Rebbe is saying the loss of Avitaka, we're not going to have the heter to write down Torah Shabbat Peh anymore. Mm-hmm. There's another shikha. The Rebbe says that Megillah started to write down notes for yourself. Taka will be okay. You're not going to forget it. So the Rebbe says, no, it's not forgetting, but it's not. When you write things down, it's mechadash new things. When you write things down, you think it over more, and you get more of a clarka. It's mechadish more things. So it's not that. Excuse me. It's not that. It could be you'll be able to write Megillah Starim for yourself to write down your own notes.
What about that?
What?
Rabbi say anything about that which is already written?
Oh, so things are already written. So that's the next paragraph. The Rebbe says. What's going to be the seder? That benegiel Torah Shabbat Peh shekvar nichteva. Torah Shabbat Peh, which is already written, Kamei Mishnah Gemara, Ve'im Yechayim Lachzer Ulakesava. Are you going to write again? It's a mistake. It's a mistake. So are you going to be able to print it over again since there's not going to be any chashash of shikha? So the Rebbe is talking about, could you reprint them? What about the old ones? Could you use them? You have to put them in shemus. So there's one. So there's a machlekes, the different days about what's the isser of writing down Torah Shabbat Peh. Is the isser writing it, or is the isser also to learn from it? Meaning, once it's already written, are you not allowed to? Was the isser already done and now you can do whatever you want with it, or it was written isser and therefore you're not supposed to use it? So in the so there are different places, and Avnei Nezer understands that it's the isser is dafke writing it, not reading it. So
this is only on the one that wrote it.
Yeah. So I was saying, so then you're able to learn from them. There's some others. Digital format. You're saying it's
just in case I'm not writing anything.
Can be machmer. And the other is Chivas Chikri Leiv, which he had, and which goes down to that Isra is also reading it, not just writing it. And so that's one machlekes. And another story you could bring up is that that's something which was written by Isser. You could say, are you allowed to read it since it was written by Isser? But Svarim which were already printed, they were written beheter, when you were allowed to. So maybe even if you want to say you're not allowed to write, you're not allowed to read Svarim which are written be'isser, but if these Svarim were written beheter, so maybe then there's not going to be any isser to use them. It's Teir Shavalpet? No, it's not. It's not Teir Shavalpet, right? Anything is not Teir Shavalpet. Shavalpet is not Teir Shavalpet. Right, so there's Gerlitzky in a Sefer. He wants to connect to this machlekes also with another machlekes, whether in Shem Esau says Hashem you're allowed to write down Teir Shavalpet. What about if you're writing down a language people don't understand anymore? Like you're writing kameas. You're writing a kameya for a sgula and some ksav ashuri or something, and you're writing a language people don't speak anymore. So it's not helping anyone. It's not Esas Es Hashem because no one's learning from it. So it's machlekes for sheinim whether you're allowed to do that. Do we say Esas Es Hashem? Do we say that it doesn't apply anymore? And there's a dvarim shebalpeh you're not allowed to write it. Or so that's one opinion. The Torah brings down. Another opinion is that now once we were matir to write down these halachas, so even though in this case there's no tzorech, but once we were matir, we were matir. So you can also connect to this machlekes. According to this also lovely, these parts of Teir Shavalpeh which are already written down, which we already matir, the Mishnah and the Gemara, all these things which are already printed once we're matir, maybe we still will be matir. So at the end, what is clear? It's kind of up in the air. So the Rebbe goes with takes on the opinion that it's going to be usher to write new Chidushei Torah. That's the only thing we have clear so far. Well, and Megillah started and write down just notes for yourself. So in this Sikha the Rebbe says no. There's another Sikha the Rebbe says that if you're doing a mitzvah to the new chid, because it's going to help you understand and you're going to be mechanish new things, then yeah. And what about things which are already printed? What about things which are already printed? Are you allowed to reprint things that are printed? So that's also a question, and we're going to have to wait. Yeah.
Let him come and let's see.
Yeah. Well, it should come soon, and we'll have a big shir, have a great shir, and we'll figure out everything.